Around Christmas time last year, I was sitting in a pub in London and I felt the tug on the back of my seat. And just like that, my bag and all my things were just gone. I felt angry and violated, but I mean, I was a bit drunk by this point in the evening anyway, and I just kind of shrugged it off. Among all the stuff that had gone, the thing I was most upset about was losing my new Amazon Kindle, which I'd owned for a week at that point and had been saving for a little while. It was in the kind of perfect sort of matcha green color. And I was livid. I was furious about that more than anything because having a Kindle, it brought books back into my life and reading again. And I was kind of enthusiastic. Owning that kind of got me back into reading. I was only a very casual reader before then. And my partner was very sweet about it when that happened. She could see how sort of upset I was, and she'd actually bought me a new Kindle. And the Kindle she bought me was this 2011 Amazon Kindle. And it was kind of jarring at first getting used to this thing. I mean, the instinct by today's standards is to call this device ugly, but I kind of got used to it, and it got me quite nostalgic for a time of older technology. But after getting used to it, I absolutely love it, and I have no intention of upgrading this thing or going back. I mean, the thing with old technology is it's often labelled as sort of ugly and inconvenient and outdated. The life cycle of technology is so short these days with new upgrades coming out all the time, and technology offering more in the name of progress. They're upgrading each time, offering new features and new things that you never thought you needed before. And in my opinion, don't really need. But the thing is, owning a device like this, which is completely purpose-built for one thing and one thing alone, has really changed the way I look at things. I mean, this is a purpose-built device for one thing and one thing only. And that comes with some really nice touches that I found missing in the modern Kindle that I owned. The first thing that separates this from a more modern Kindle is it doesn't come with preloaded adverts, which is just becoming the norm all of a sudden. I begrudgingly put up with that with my newer model of a Kindle that I had, but I find the idea of buying a device that's preloaded with adverts that you have to pay extra to get off, I just find it depressing and disgusting. And this is from a time when that wasn't a thing. The buttons on this, they take a bit of getting used to. It's not a touchscreen device, this. But there's something about the clicking that's really satisfying that I like. And it doesn't have the issues of the touchscreens. If I brush it with my thumb, nothing's going to happen. I don't have to poke awkwardly in all the corners to change the settings and display. Each button has its own purpose and function, and when I'm reading or I drop it or whatever, I don't lose my place at all. The menu on this is extremely basic. It does the titles and that's it. There's no pictures on this thing. There's no store anymore. They abandoned the store on that. You have to load everything on there by plugging it into a computer. But doing it this way really changed the way I consume things. It meant every book I download, I've now got to make the effort to do it. So every book I would download, I'd download with the intention of reading instead of amassing content and maybe I'll read it when I fancy. Its limitations are actually beneficial to the experience. Like, I'm now researching what I'm reading. I'm taking recommendations from people I know and people who know me, not algorithms or the stores or getting pushed the bestseller. I'm getting recommendations from my family, from my mum, from my partner, from friends. People who know me are telling me what to get, and then I'm researching that and making a decision. It's more work, but it's giving me more knowledge about books, more casual knowledge as well. And I'm reading with more intention now. I'm not kind of casually flicking through something and maybe I'll like it, maybe I'll drop it. No, I've made the effort to find out and download these things. I'm already interested now because I already know what I'm doing. I think what this drew my attention to is I'm consciously consuming things now instead of passively consuming things. Making this switch from being an active consumer to a passive consumer, it really got me thinking about other areas of my life that I wanted to feel this again. I felt more informed about the choices I was making with how I was entertaining myself, and I really liked that. This got me to think about other areas of my life where my consumption of things was passive. It was based on things that were delivered to me either directly from an app or from algorithms online. And it got me nostalgic for a time where music was my life and music was all I felt I cared about. And as I've gotten older, that has slipped away quite a bit. And I think about my streaming services and hopping around them because none of them ever felt right to me. Spotify became weird and obsessed with shorts and podcasts, and I'd used YouTube Music, and that just didn't feel right to me either. I'd moved to Tidal, which was the best one I found. It felt like a music first app, but the actual function of the app just didn't work half the time, and it let me down on so many train journeys that I just decided I'd had enough of the whole thing. And the way I'd listen to music by streaming would be I'd just kind of passively put things on. I'd either chuck on the recommended stuff, I'd either just go back to things that I was already familiar with. I'd consume new music, but I'd only just casually put things on with no intention of listening or finding new things. It was more like, this will fill a gap in my life, so fuck it, I'll fill it here. The nostalgia I had with the Kindle got me nostalgic for another thing, which would be an iPod. It's so weird to me that when I was young, when I was a teenager, up until I was 20 probably, iPods ruled the world. I mean, they were everywhere, and smartphones became the norm. They just stopped having any function until now. I went and bought myself a cheap second-hand 30GB iPod Classic. Now, these things are making a bit of a comeback at the minute. I'm seeing lots of things of people modding them and adding new features to them, repairing old parts and things. But for me, I love it as it purposely is. I love the Apple interface. I mean, listen to that click. And I love it. It's purpose-built. It's perfect. And like the Kindle, the limitations of the iPods, it actually changed how I listen to music. It's again made me more conscious about what I put on. I've actually been researching albums and bands, as well as picking out old favorites again and purposely downloading them. The limitations of not having everything accessible to me meant I will load up a month's worth of music and enjoy that, and then I'll take it all off again and load up a different month of music. And again, the point I'm driving home is it's made my consumption much more purposeful and impactful. Like, I'm already interested to hear what these albums sound like. I'm not just casually throwing things on. I'll think about what I want to download instead of just having it. I'll get recommendations off friends. I'll research albums online, which is something I haven't done in years. I've been listening to jazz and things I've never even bothered with. I started thinking about audio as a medium. I've downloaded old radio shows on here and old stand-up comedy albums. And again, having a purpose-built thing has really connected me back to the thing that it was for. I feel connected again to music and reading with these devices. I know the obvious thing is books do exist, but I like the convenience of these things. These old technologies aren't rubbish or useless. I think we've just kind of lost a bit of that in the smartphone era where everything has to do everything. It means when I want to read a book, I will choose to take out my Kindle with me. When I want to listen to music, I will choose to bring my iPod with me. Sometimes I don't bother and I just enjoy the silence of a bus. And what I am noticing is the more I use these devices and think about things in this way, my phone is becoming my phone again. A lot of this is about feel more than function. Like, yes, my iPhone is probably better to do all these things on, but it comes down to how it feels to me. And having these gadgets, sure, part of it is nostalgia, but there's something about the way they feel in my hand. I feel power again as a consumer. I haven't felt power as a consumer in a long time, and it's probably why my interests have dissipated. And it got me thinking more and more about the physical world and the things I'm missing out on. Even really small touches, like I got this really cute Snoopy wallet, and I don't use Apple Pay anymore. I take it out, and sure, it's not changed my life or anything, but it just gives me a little bit of joy, and I love the button. And there's something about it that is not definable for me. It connects me back to the real world again. I'm not just kind of casually brushing through and just walking on. There's something about it. I mean, I won't lie, this Snoopy wallet is a conversation starter. I have little bits of interactions and checkouts and things again. It's something about having everything physical again is bringing me back into the physical world. I mean, one thing I've discovered doing this is I love buttons and I'm fucking sick of touchscreens. I don't know what it is. There is something stimulating and satisfying about the press of a button again. And to get even more ridiculous, I've got a watch now. And again, that is just another part of me being brought back into the world. There's something just nice about there's just something very satisfying, which again, I don't even know how to like describe it. I feel like I understand time better. I'm not just going and then just checking Reddit or social media or whatever. Just oh, there's the time, and I'm just in the moment. I think when I think about phone usage is when I go on my phone, I feel like I leave the room, and that's the best way I can describe it. It's doing it this way, going through life with physical things. I've not left the room as much. I've been aware of things around me. I've been aware of sounds. It's a really nice, calming feeling for me. And the other thing, just go even further, is I've dug out this old camera and have just been filming things on the go. Like, my iPhone has a fantastic camera. I'm filming this video on it, but I don't film nice things for me on it. I might film a snippet of something and never look at it again. But there's something about just having that camera, and it isn't perfect, but there's a feel to it. And I've been making home videos, and there's just something nice. When I want to film, I'll have it. And I have a bag now with all things, and it feels nicer. I feel like I'm doing things with intention again. I'm not passively going through life, I'm actively going through life. And the last step of this whole thing would be, the trendy thing would be to get rid of my smartphone. But I don't want to do that. I like my phone. It's really good. It's really helpful. If I ever forget to bring the Snoopy wallet out, I've got a backup. It's a really good bit of technology. But having these things for my entertainment has changed my relationship with it for the better. I've often been one of those guys that's fantasized about doing away with the smartphone, but in reality, that's not what life is anymore. I think it's an enormous challenge and an inconvenience that maybe at this point in my life is just asking a bit too much. But my phone doesn't contain my hobbies anymore. It doesn't have power over my interests. I'm just doing that on my own. And my relationships with my interests are becoming more involved. My phone ultimately has gone back to being a phone again, and I really enjoy that. But what it's really given me, all of this, is I feel power again. And I've not felt power in my consumption in a long time. And I think you should give it a go.